How's it going, guys? JP here. Welcome back to my channel. This is the 15 things that I would like to see from Scream Factory in the year 2015. Last year at around this time I created a video where I listed off 10 films that I would have loved to see Scream Factory pick up. This video is kind of similar, but I'm not listing off specific titles or anything like that. These are just kind of ideas that I think would help the company be stronger, and just personal, selfish ideas that would make me happier. So, as you guys know, anybody who followed my channel or follows my podcast knows that I am a huge supporter of Scream Factory. I've been a supporter since before they even launched. When they announced the news, I made videos about it, I talked about it, I used to talk about all their announcements. And I've really spent a lot of money on Scream Factory releases over the years. I will admit that they have declined over this past year, but I still think they're putting out a lot of strong stuff. There's some duds here and there, but overall I was happy with what I got out of Scream Factory in 2014, and I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do in 2015. So this is just a list of things that I would like to see from them in 2015. And the first one is more sales. Everybody knows that you can get your Scream Factories from Amazon cheaper than you can from Scream Factory or ShoutFactory.com. But when they have sales, they really kind of do a good job lowering their price enough to where it seems like you're getting some cool stuff. You're getting your worth out of buying from Shout Factory, and they do a lot of cool things where they'll throw in like the magnet sets or the coaster sets, and I really like that idea. I want to see more of it. I want to see more of those bonus items that you get during their sales. I also want to see like the Summer of Fear, which I'm happy to say that they are doing again. They're doing the Summer of Fear 2. I had a lot of fun with the Summer of Fear. They had a sale like every week or something with 6 different horror films. There's 6-pack of horror films, and I actually pick a lot of my Scream Factories up from those sales. I'm trying to catch up all the time because they release so much stuff that I can't keep up. So during those sales is when I really acquire a lot of the titles that I missed. And last year during their Summer of Fear, they had a weekly live stream of one of their films with you know, people that were involved in the film, and I thought that was just the greatest idea, and I would like to see that amplified this year. I'm really looking forward to the Summer of Fear. It kicked off with Sleepaway Camp, I believe, last year, and I really dug that release. That's one of my favorite releases by them. So I want to see more sales, more of those theme type events, and more just the bonus stuff that you get in there during their sales, like the coasters and the magnets and stuff like that, with the Scream Factory Collector's Edition artwork on them. That was cool stuff, and I really enjoyed picking up a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I want to see more of that type of stuff. They do a good job with that when they have it, and really looking forward to Summer Fair too. Next up is I want to see Scream Factory show us more of the process. Let us know how they acquire these films. Let us know the process, the stages of you know, the production of the release. I feel like a lot of people are just unfamiliar with how things works, you know, the rights issues and stuff like that. I feel Scream Factory keeps us in the dark on a lot of that stuff, and that's why they get so much, and it's not just Scream Factory, but other companies as well. They get so much backlash because fans are truly just ignorant to how this process works, and I blame, for the most part, the companies themselves for really not shedding light on this stuff. And I feel like I know more than the average fan on like how the process works just from listening to interviews and podcasts and stuff like that. But maybe if Scream Factory kind of showed the process a little bit more, people would be less drastic when something goes wrong or something goes bad, or why didn't you get this film, or why did you get this film, stuff like that. Also, I feel like they need to take more of the fans' input. I remember before when Ninja 3 was announced, they was like, hey, this really isn't a horror film, but do you want to see it on the Scream label? And the fans voted, and then it became a Scream Factory release. I think they should incorporate that again, where they get more input from the fans. Maybe when a release is being pushed back because they want to try, like the Dog Soldiers release, where they wanted to try to redo the transfer, so they pushed the release back again, they delayed it. Maybe ask the fans, hey, would you guys rather see this release when it's scheduled, or would you rather us try to get this transfer and redo it so that it's a better release? And then when you ultimately delay it, because they're going to say, yeah, we want the best release possible, then it feels like it was the fans' decision and not Scream Factory, the almighty powerful Scream Factory, just doing whatever they want. It makes it seem like it was our idea. So I think if they just kind of got a little bit more input from the fans, it could really kind of change the way that we react when Scream Factory drops some kind of bombshell on us. So that's another thing. Third, I want to see the return of the TV Terrors. TV Terrors Volume 2. Those of you who've been around long enough to follow Scream Factory know that their idea was, hey, we think we can get a lot of these TV films. We're going to release a double feature with 2 TV films. And if it sells well, we will release more, because we can probably get a lot of these. And I guess it didn't sell well, because I've actually heard them say that it didn't sell well, which was a huge shock to me, because I thought I seen a lot of people grabbing that release, which is funny because it's one of the earliest releases that I still don't own, and it's really cheap. I don't know what my problem is, but so I mean, I guess I'm to blame, sort of, but I think if they launched it with stronger films than the 2 that they put in the pack, it would have sold, and I think we would have been seeing many more volumes of the TV Terrors. So what I want to see is take the risk, take a chance, get 2 more TV films, put it in the TV Terrors set, release it again, and give it another shot, Scream Factory, because I think this could be a decent subdivision category of releases, the TV Terrors. I think it would be really fun to see. There's so many of these made-for-TV films that have never gotten DVD releases. There's a lot of like killer animal ones and stuff from the 90s that I would really love to see. So try your hardest, maybe get a little bit more well-known titles and do a volume 2, because I guarantee you these things will sell. You just launched with the wrong films. I feel like that's what it was. It just didn't have enough boom with the titles that they stuck in that first volume. But guys, scream at Scream Factory. Let them know that we want another TV Terrors. I know Moods is a huge fan of that idea, and I know that he would be really happy to see more of those, as would I. The fourth thing is I want to see an All Night Marathon Volume 3. I really like those releases. They were films that necessarily wouldn't have sold on their own. They were films that couldn't be collector's editions, probably didn't have the negative to or whatever to do an HD transfer. So they were just kind of these films that they had the rights to or could get the rights to, but just weren't heavy enough hitters to do, you know, releases individually for. So I would like to see that, you know. I would like to see them find, because I'm sure they're skipping over films that they might not be able to do anything with simply for those reasons, and just get them and release another all-night marathon. And they said that those didn't really sell, but I don't believe it, because maybe they didn't sell enough for the amount that the films cost to get, and the low amount of that they priced the item. But maybe try it in a different way. Try again. I like the idea. I think that it would be really cool to see more of these. And the 2 that I have are very lonely, because there's only 2 when I expected there to be a big stack by now. So yeah, less double packs with those. You know, that kind of goes into this. The double pack, I'm just not like love at first bite or whatever. That could have been on a all-night movie marathon pack for $8, and it probably would sell better, because I doubt many people are picking up that double pack release with the other film. So that's number 4. Number 5 is less non-horror releases. When Scream Factory originally started, it was pure horror, and I like Class of 1984, and I like the idea of Mad Max and stuff, but these just aren't Scream titles. I understand the John Carpenter titles, like Escape from New York and Assault on Precinct 13 and stuff like that. It's John Carpenter. The guy's just connected to horror. I understand releasing those, but some of these releases are barely, like Supernova. I mean, it's just not Scream. I'm kind of a purist. I kind of want to see Scream Factory stick to horror. So I'll say, cut out the non-horror stuff. I mean, here and there it isn't bad. Like Ninja 3, where you asked us, do that. Ask us if we want it on the Scream label. And if we don't, then we don't. And if we do, then that's fine. At least we had the, we made the decision. And I'm just not a huge fan of incorporating these non-horror stuff. Here and there it's not bad, but I don't know. I'm a purist. So less non-horror stuff for number 5. Number 6. More contemporary releases. I actually like these a lot. I don't want to see them overshadow the retro stuff, but every time they announce a Chiller film or like the Takashi Miike film that they picked up, I get really excited because I know we're going to cover it on the podcast because we cover every contemporary release by Scream Factory on the podcast. And I don't know, I just look forward to finding these gems. Like, I was a big fan of Beneath. I thought that was a great Chiller movie. I was very happy with that release. Not so much with Dead Shadows and some of the other ones, but I like the idea of grabbing these films that are new and really don't have a way to be released specially. Like The Battery, come on, that's one of the best films I've ever seen, and it was a contemporary film released by Scream Factory. One of my favorite titles that they put out, you know. They did a great job on that one. So I want to see more of that. Not too much, but just a little bit more. Grab all the Chiller stuff. Where's Chilling Visions to 5 States of Fear? Like, where's that at? Shouldn't that be announced by now? Let's grab that. Let's grab everything else Chiller does. And yeah, so more contemporary releases. Number 7, we have... I want to see more special features in general, but I want to see one specifically, and that's Horror's Hallowed Grounds. I want to see more of that. That's by far my favorite special feature. I don't know, it's just something cool about Sean Clark. Dude's really awesome, great host of that show. I know that it existed before Scream Factory, but I feel like they should have a Horror's Hallowed Grounds on almost every release, especially every collector's edition. I want to see these locations. I want to see Sean Clark making funny jokes and stuff like that. That is a fantastic special feature. I want to see more documentaries as well. I like the behind-the-scenes documentaries that they do for Scream Factory. More special features in general, but especially on the collector's editions. Especially Horror's Hallowed Grounds. Bring that back. Put it on everything that you can. I don't care what it costs. Just do it. Because I'm not going to be happy until I see a Horror's Hallowed Grounds at least every, 3 or 4 collector's editions. It's an awesome feature. Scarecrows should be a collector's edition as well. Just throwing that out there. Number 8. TV shows. They released the Eli Roth show. What he produced it. The name of it's escaping me. I actually don't own that release yet. But it was the Netflix original show about the werewolf and stuff. I want to see more TV shows. Not a lot, but one here or there I think would be cool. For example, when El Rey did From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV series, that would have been a cool show to get on Scream Factory. Holliston, I think that would be a great show to, if they ever do a 3rd season. But, not only that, but there's other TV shows that have never been released. There's other TV shows, new TV shows that come out that I feel like Scream Factory should ante up and try to get. One specific show that I just need on DVD is Freddy's Nightmares. If somehow Scream Factory can grab Freddy's Nightmares, it might be one of the coolest moments in Scream Factory history, because that is just something that should have been released a long time ago. Who owns it? Well, Moonlight, Warner Brothers? I'm not sure. It's probably impossible to get. I don't know why that show has never been released, but I want to see another TV show here and there from Scream Factory. I like that idea. It's pretty cool. After that, number 9, we have... I want to see more co-releases. We seen Scream Factory partner with Anchor Bay to bring us the Halloween box set, and now we just seen Scream Factory partner with IFC Midnight. Now I know that the Anchor Bay deal was more of an Anchor Bay release, but I feel like if Scream Factory kind of creates these relationships, it only benefits us. So I would like to see Scream Factory reach out to more companies and plan co-releases. I like that idea. I like seeing people work together. It seems like it opens the door for more titles. The Babadook, that's an awesome film. IFC Midnight is one of my favorite companies for contemporary films. And I love the idea of Scream Factory and IFC Midnight working together. So I want to see more co-releases. That would be pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to see more of them. Number 10, more big releases, box sets, stuff like that. This year we've seen the Vincent Price Collection Volume 2. We've seen the Halloween box set, which had Halloween 6, the producer's cut, which is one of the bigger ideas to release. Like that's a big title because it's part of a huge franchise and it's never been released in that form. And then we had the Nightbreed collection. So I want to see some big releases like that. Those were huge releases, especially the Halloween box set, the Nightbreed, director's cut. Those were huge releases to me. You know, Halloween, seeing all the films together for a decent price, in my opinion. The producer's cut, it was just a huge release for me, and I would love to see Scream Factory get a hold of more of these super big releases, these big, the big deals. These are big deal releases. In the community, everybody's talking about them. When they get announced, it's like such a huge deal. Let's try to do at least 3 of those this year too. Number 11, no more false announcements. Come on, Scream Factory, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Hellhole announced it. Oh, we don't have the ability to create a new transfer, so Hellhole's canceled. That's a huge deal. You can't do that a lot. Cruel Jaws, that one was just a mistake that should have never happened, because anybody who knows anything knows that film had footage from other films in it. So no more of that. These mistakes, the whole Nightbreed thing where they sent out the wrong set to people and then they were asking for it back. It just looks bad, and honestly I can tell from my own group page, from the 22 Shots group page, that I think you guys lost a lot, that you kind of turned a lot of fans against you after a few of these missteps in this past year. I think some people blow it out of proportion, but definitely there were some big mistakes that should have never happened, and I will agree on that. The Nightbreed thing was stupid. The Cruel Jaws thing was even more stupid, but I just cut out the mistakes. We gotta limit those this year. So yeah, no more false announcements, no more mistakes. I understand that if you announce New Year's Evil to be out before New Year's and then it gets delayed, I understand that. That's fine. Those are things that are sometimes unavoidable. But announcing titles before you can actually release them and stuff like that, just bad. It's very bad. Don't do that. Next up we have number 12. I want a bona fide Christmas horror film. Now I know that Tales from the Crypt has the one segment in it, but I want to see a straight up Christmas horror film released by Scream Factory for December. Why has this not happened? It blows my mind. One that I wished for last year was Elves, and that's just because it's such a weird movie. It's never been released on DVD, and it just has a weirdness to it that I think would be really awesome if Scream Factory released. So I want to see a Christmas horror film. I know there's one out there you guys can get, even if it's contemporary. Get a Christmas horror film, release it in December. I will never be happier. You will make me the happiest person in the world. That's all I want for Christmas. Okay, so do it. Make it happen, please. After that, we have number 13. No more limited editions. Now, I made the video defending the limited edition Nightbreed set, which I have right here. But I would have never had this if it wasn't for somebody sending it to me, somebody anonymous, somebody who claims to be Scream Factory, but I'm not sure. I don't like the idea. I don't mind it. I'm not going to hate it, but it just kind of annoys me that I would have never had this if somebody didn't give it to me because, well, let me backtrack a little bit. It's not that I don't want to see limited editions. That's fine because you still release the regular Nightbreed edition that had, you know, almost as much as the limited edition. But the limited edition was really pricey, and that's where my big negative came in. You can release limited stuff. I don't have a problem with that because it's a premium product. If you want to try to, if there's these hardcore fans out there that want to spend the extra cash and want to get the limited edition sets, the numbered sets, that's fine. I'm cool with that. But I had a real issue with the price. It was way too high for what they was releasing. So I guess it would be not that I don't want to see any limited editions, but if you're gonna do it, at least make it a semi-reasonable price, because the Nightbreed set was just ridiculously overpriced. Next up, we have number 14, more films that are not on DVD. Those seem to be, at least in my friend group, the best releases. Those seem to be the ones that people get the most excited for. I know they're not the tentpole titles that sell, like you know, a John Carpenter film or you know, another film that's very popular like Sleepaway Camp. They're not the tentpoles, but I feel like people respect those ones the most. They might not sell as many, but they make us happy. The hardcores, the ones that regularly support your company, the ones that buy every release, those are the people that want the films that were never released on DVD. That's who wants those. And I feel like sometimes if you neglect those fans, it's not a good idea. So definitely keep up the films that were never released on DVD. Pump out more of those. I want to see as many as possible. Those are the films that I get most excited for normally. So definitely those ones. You know, there's so many. There's so many films that have never been released on DVD that are just ridiculous that they are not on DVD and need to be on DVD. And finally, number 15, which I think is the most important thing that needs to happen in 2015 for Scream Factory, that is new deals. We've seen Scream Factory release MGM titles mostly. They have worked with, I believe, Universal in the past, and I want to say Warner Brothers, or no, Fox, it was Fox. You know, the MGM well is drying up. There's not very many films left in that well to release. We're starting to see a lot of these films that are just not worthy of collector's editions, let alone standard single releases. They're being packed into double features. So somehow Scream Factory has to work out new deals. I know that in the past they had potential to release films under you know, certain big companies, but they didn't want any special features on the discs, stuff like that, you know. And I give Scream Factory props for turning those deals down, but we have to find something else. We have to find another vault. You know, like Lionsgate would be amazing. They own all the Artisan stuff and just TriStar, all that stuff, but I know that these companies are hard to get to agree to license these films, but you know, that's what needs to happen. You have to, Scream Factory has to find another way. They have to find another way in. They have to make deals with these companies because there's just not enough titles under MGM anymore. I see Scream Factory significantly slowing down their releases and or putting out a bunch of crap if they can't strike a new deal, a new licensing agreement with some other companies, because MGM, which is the primarily the films that they license, it's just there's not enough films left. There's some, but you know, there's some big titles, but obviously, just because Scream Factory can release MGM films doesn't mean they have full reign over the vault. So there's a lot of other companies that MGM works with too. So we just need to see some new deals going down. We need to see some big announcements, and hopefully we see that in 2015. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the 15 things that I want to see from Scream Factory. Sorry if I got a little all over the place in this video. Trying to do it in one take, which I managed. So see you guys next time, and peace out.